Made national news. Two men accused of putting weights into their walleye to win a local fishing tournament. They pleaded not guilty to a host of charges, including cheating and attempted grand theft. But today, a conviction. Katie Wilson was in the courtroom when they changed their plea. She joins us live with the latest. Katie.
Yeah, Chris, instead of going to trial, both these men took plea deals, pleading guilty to 2 of 4 charges. And while some were hoping they'd face up to more, prosecutor Michael O'Malley says this still sends a strong message to the fishing world.
Cheating is a felony of the 5th degree. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. Guilty, Your Honor.
2 guilty pleas in a cheating scandal that gained national attention.
16-some pounds.
In this video from the Lake Erie Walleye Trail Tournament back in September of 2022, you can hear the disbelief and mumbles of skepticism as Jacob Runyon and Chase Kaminsky were declared winners. The director of the tournament apparently felt the same, cutting the fish open to find these small weights heavy enough to help them take home the $28,000 prize. That discovery led to both fishermen getting indicted, and while originally pleading not guilty, today, a change of heart.
You did knowingly engage in conduct designed to corrupt the outcome of an athletic or sporting event. Do you understand that count, Mr. Kaminsky?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Runyon?
Yes, Your Honor.
A guilty plea to cheating, a 5th-degree felony, and the unlawful ownership of wild animals, a 4th-degree misdemeanor. While some may say a felony is a bit steep for cheating,
a 4-pound fish is a 4-pound fish. It looks like a 4-pound fish.
Local fisherman Nate Leaders says these tournaments have steep prizes, and Runyon and Kaminsky stole that possibly more than once.
They stole money from other fellow fishermen, friends of mine, and I just wanted to see them. I wanted them to know I'm here, I'm still watching.
As for the future of this sport, prosecutor Michael O'Malley hopes this sends a clear message.
People will see that if you cheat in these type of events, you will be held accountable.
The state recommended Kaminsky and Runyon's sentence be 6 months of community control. Their sentencing hearing is scheduled for May 11th. Live in the Justice Center, Katie Wilson, 19 News.